any interest in tuning in 7 years because it's already dead. It's the voice of a short generation.
What is quality?
Fast and Furious. Fast and Furious. It is the movie for a generation that won't continue to think it's a classic, but it is right now.
What's up, Heckman? Make sure you blast that volume at work so everybody can hear Biscuits and Gravy.
Yeah,
Heckman.
What's our timeline?
Yeah, we're live. I'm waiting to see if you say something more ridiculous about Bullitt. But if you need to go get a drink, you've got 2 minutes. We're not starting for another 2 minutes, Ken Paul.
Utah, give me 2.
So no Fast and Furious baloney for 1 minute from me. Yeah. You're welcome.
But while he's gone, we will talk about Bullitt, which was the biggest disappointment and I love Steve McQueen, but that was like watching paint dry.
Check any list to see how
low
there it is. It's never below 5.
Can you mute him, or is it too early?
No, it's never too early to mute Ken Paul.
He muted himself. He went into the other foyer of his house.
However, I think I've been muted the most out of this program.
It's probably
muted a lot early on, but you are catching up on the muting category.
Anybody tuning in right now, we're going to be getting started in just a minute or two with Biscuits and Gravy, talk movies, and other random stuff. The car movie edition. And if you are a fan of Fast and the Furious, I need as much help as humanly possible to let these freaking assholes know that somehow in the conversation, Chad is the only one besides me that put it in the list, in their lists.
It's in the conversation, baby.
Only for you and I, according to Troyer and to Ken Paul. It's not even a real movie.
And imagine if we always agreed on things. Wouldn't it be a boring show?
Yeah, but this is the one time I'm just going to flat out say they're wrong.
Okay. All right. I mean, it's you can say that and then they can say it right back to your goofy mustache.
The argument wasn't, is it a movie that has cars in it? It was, is it a good movie featuring cars?
Rotten Tomatoes would prove you wrong for all of these things. All right, we are 1 minute away, ladies and gentlemen, so stay tuned. Just about time to get started with Biscuits and Gravy, talk movies, and other random stuff. Car movie edition, we're going to talk about Fast and the Furious. We're going to talk about Bullitt. We've got 8 movies on the list to see who will reign supreme in the world of top movies of cars. So with that said, we've got some people watching, and we are going to go ahead and kick off the show. Are you guys ready, gentlemen?
You know it.
Older gentlemen?
Wow.
I can't see you. You have to make a noise.
My ear horn is in place.
There we go. Fantastic.
It's time for Biscuits and Gravy, talk movies and other stuff. Starring Chad Fishburne as Biscuits and Anthony Russo as Gravy. Look at that mustache. We brought our friends along. Matt Troyer is our beer expert. And last but not least, the man, the myth, the legend, our fashionista, Ken Paul Smith. Ladies and gents, enjoy the show. And if you don't, you can suck it.
Speaking of you can suck it, for those of you that don't think Fast and the Furious should be in the top 8, like 2 of my co-hosts, I encourage you also to suck it. This is Biscuits and Gravy Car Movie Edition. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Anthony from parts where very well known. I'm in DFW, if you can't tell. Yep, got a little trim. Wore a mask today, went to the old hair cutter, barber, and I am feeling fresh. And once again, I feel like I have sex appeal, which is a positive thing when you're quarantining and chilling, watching movies alone. And of course, me being Gravy, let me introduce you to Biscuits.
What's up, guys? My name is Chad Fishburne. I'm a comedian, host, and MC, and I've been putting up with Anthony Michael Russo, full names are in full effect today, for about a decade. So, guys, we're getting ready to hook y'all up. Lightning round of trivia coming up in just a second, so do not go anywhere. We'll be giving away that cash in just a second.
That's right. What Chad is talking about is this episode, we're going to do something a little different. It's going to be the audience against me. Chad is going to be giving some trivia questions on, I believe, some Fast and the Furious trivia, as well as some other car trivia to see if I can stack up. So stay tuned for that. $5 Venmos to everybody that plays with hashtag #BeTheChange. All right. Let's go to Mr. Troyer. How's it going?
What's up? Greetings from Portland, Oregon. Here's your sneak peek of the beer of the day. What? It's Talking Lips and a Pillow. We'll explain more. Stay tuned.
Talking Lips and a Pillow sounds like something that you can only do in a room alone and with no cameras involved. Speaking of doing things alone and where no cameras are involved, we've got our resident fashion expert in the bottom of the screen, Ken Paul. What's up?
Hey, everybody. Greetings from Chicago. Anthony, I hope other than being sassy and sexy, you didn't go get a haircut and come home with coronavirus. As you can tell, I'm staying home and cutting my own hair, and that's how that goes. Welcome from Chicago. This is going to be a fun show.
I don't know what just happened there, but it was super fucking awkward. So, with all this said, to answer the question, I did wear a mask. It was a very weird experience to get your haircut with a mask, but it is the way that we're able to do things and the way they're able to open up. So, give a shout out to Pierre. I believe he's watching right now. He's the one that got me looking oh so sexy one more time. I feel so much better about myself. So, this show is, as you guys notice, is now on hashtag Be the Change or Be the Change Network, which is where all of our shows are going to be on from this point moving forward, which is pretty exciting. Heckman is ready, by the way, for the quizzes, the trivia questions, and I got a gut feeling I'm going to be in trouble on that one. And we do have a quick review because one of the movies that was forced into the lineup was from the lovely Mama Russo. She also watched bits and pieces of it, and she spelled it like a whiskey, which probably would have been more interesting. But Bullitt, she says a 6-year-old gets more action than Bullitt driving a car. Yeah. Mm-hmm. She tried watching it with me, and she already started filing her AARP paperwork because that was more interesting. So, ladies and gents, this episode is going to start off with a little bit of firepower, and we are going to talk a little bit later. Ken Paul's wearing a sporty watch, as am I. We'll talk about watches in car movies as well, briefly. All right, ladies and gents. Chad, tell us how trivia is going to work today.
Can you guys hear me okay?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay, fantastic. Cool. It looks like it's frozen on my screen, but that's okay. I don't have to see my face. If you guys are hearing me, that's what we're counting on. All right, so here's how we're going to do it, my friends. This is going to be a lightning round, meaning each question, rapid succession, or one right after the other. So it's 3 questions. You guys are going against Anthony Michael Russo, full name, all day long. And if I ask for a make and model, there are no abbreviations. No abbreviations whatsoever. So that we're going full make, full model. How was it marketed in the United States of America? No, I don't care what they call it in Canada or what they call it in Japan. It is how it was marketed here in the United States. Okay, so now,
why do I get the feeling I'm screwed on this one?
You're totally porked, bro. It's okay, though. Totally porked. Get those answers in.
Can I get help? Can I get help from KP and Troyer?
No, you may not.
Okay. All right. So here's the deal, guys. In the comment box, I encourage you to make sure you're putting it in the actual page for Be the Change if you're watching it there. I'm also kind of keeping an eye open on some of the other pages that we were playing it on for comments as well. But it should all come back to the mainstream, so that should help. So it is trivia time, and Chad's got question number 1 for $5 from hashtag Be the Change. Before he does it, you are not allowed to give the money back. You must give me your Venmo. Casey, if you're watching, yes, I need your Venmo. And then we will allow you to take the $5 and give it on your own accord. All right, ready?
Give it.
Kick the tires, light the fires.
Here we go. Question number 1. For the entire franchise, what's the make and model of Dom's main car throughout the Fast and the Furious? Make and model.
That would be not all of them. But
the main car that he drives, meaning like the iconic in multiple movies.
It would be the Charger.
That was
Dodge Charger.
I don't see it in the comments. Do we have it in the comments?
Not yet. See, I get a little head start, which is probably good.
You do, but you won't get this next one, which is great. So that means he got it.
Heckman was just behind me on that one. So here's the deal. I gave about a 10-second buffer before I answered that one. What's the other? Heckman would know the other car too. There was another car that was an older one, or actually similar era that he drove in the 5th one, I believe. It is not.
Oh, is that the one where they put the chain on and drag the big vault around the town?
Exactly, yeah.
Oh, the super realistic one. Okay, I remember that.
That's so much better than classic films. Bring it up.
Yeah.
No, I loved it.
I'm going to give a whole dissertation on why Fast and the Furious deserves to be in this talk. But go ahead. Question number 2. I won that one, so nobody's getting some money. I'll
Fun fact, right? Nobody's getting anything yet. Fun fact for Matt: when they were dragging those around, those actually were Dodge Chargers. And for my car fans, they'll know that Chargers are now sedans, whereas they used to be two-door coupes. All right, here we go. That's fun fact, right? The Challengers are now the two-door coupes.
The bad guy car in the Bullitt chase scene, Dodge Charger.
I got a fun fact about that, by the way. A little fun fact as I was doing some research while I was watching the movie, because I was so effing bored that I felt like I needed to learn more about the movie, is that that Charger had a hair more horsepower by about 50. And they actually, for the Mustang that was in it, they actually had to slow down the scenes for the Mustang to catch up because the Charger was that much faster. Fun fact. So, Chad, how you doing? You back? You ready to go? Okay.
Yeah, I'm having some screen difficulty, but if you guys can hear me, that's all that really matters. You don't need to see my face.
Yeah, you're all good.
We got a ring up.
All right, question number 2. This one, the difficulty level has been advanced by approximately 2.5 notches. So if my fans are out there, we will find out who they are right now. Here we go. In the original movie for the Fast and the Furious, so movie number 1, at Race Wars, what is the make and model, no abbreviations please, of the car that goes up against Jesse's white VW Jetta? Go.
Against the Jetta that he loses.
Correct.
He drives
away. He drives away. So that the Jetta, the white Jetta, that's we want to know what car beat Jesse in his white VW.
Is it the S2000?
Do we have anybody? Did anybody beat you?
I doubt it.
It is the Honda S2000. You got it. That is correct.
Oh, Heckman.
There it is. Heckman's right there.
Heckman won one because I even waited. I waited 10-second count on that one to see if anybody. I knew there'd be 5. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to give that one to Heckman. David Heckman has won 1 trivia.
Also, did you say just S2000? Because technically it was supposed to be the Honda S2000.
There it is.
Okay.
What is Brown?
So this next one's tough. So Heckman got it. Brown. What? Brown?
I don't know. What has Brown done for you? It's a UPS. I think the Kate works for UPS, maybe. I don't know. Okay. So we got a third rapid fire question. Then we're going to get into our top movies. Third question. Who is going to, I'm going to go ahead and give myself a 10 count if I don't know it. I think we'll see if somebody can get me on this one. I feel like this one's going to be a little bit harder. First one to answer. If you can beat me, you are getting a $5 Venmo from #BeTheChange. Kate is trying. She's just picking colors. I love it.
Yes, I love it. Okay. That's fantastic. I love her. If you ever do a stand-up show, you must have Kate Kinney in your audience. She has the most amazing laugh ever. Okay, here we go. Last one for all the marbles. How many generations, not individual cars, but generations of GTRs did Paul Walker drive throughout the franchise? Go.
I think I have the answer.
You think you know it? I mean, do you have any experience with this specific manufacturer?
Yes, I do. So I'm going to go with 2.
You do? Okay.
I'm thinking it's 2. I don't think he went. I don't remember a third one in there, so I'm going 2.
Okay, Kenny says 9, which would be more generations than exist for the GTR. Heckman says 4. If Heckman thinks it's 4, I want to know what 4 generations it is. He's going to have to expand upon that. Now he's just guessing. Okay, he's just throwing it out there.
It's definitely not all 5. It's got to be the R30. R34 was in the first one, or was in the
Too Fast, Too Furious was the R34. We'll count them out. Jeff, so we still got guesses coming in though. So we're going to give them that. That's the only hint we can give them. R34 is correct in one of the generations.
For those of you watching, we'll talk about real movies coming up soon in the program.
Wow. Okay.
Okay. So it's got to be because there's the R35. It's got to be the R34. I don't remember there being a R33.
So I'm going to give it 10 seconds for the audience, and then I'm going to give you the correct answer. So we'll count them down.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Correct answer is 3 generations. 3 generations of the GTR. The one that you're missing, Mr. Russo, was the Hakusuka or Bucks Skyline, the original.
Really?
And that was in Fast 5. Yes, he drove a 1971 2000 GTR. And that was Yeah, that one was the sneaky one. That one was that's why I saved this one for last, because yes, it was a little bit sneaky. Do I feel bad about it? No, I do not.
I love Troyer is getting more people to write notes. Okay, so here's the deal, guys. We only gave away one there, which means we'll give away some more prizes shortly. We've got at least 4 more trivia questions left. I'm going to give one of my favorite quotes later, but we don't have that in the slot, so we're saving that. So here's the deal. As we do trivia, $5 Venmos for everybody that answers it correctly first from hashtag #BeTheChange. We've got one win with David Heckman. I love that rapid fire round. This episode is all about cars, which makes this interesting. We don't talk about this on every episode, but every gentleman you see here is a car buff. We are car experts. We are specialists. We know the world of automobiles, yet apparently not all of us know what's a quality automobile movie, which can be said, I think, directed towards me or directed away from me. So I'm going to go ahead, pull that banner off, and then we're going to talk about our top 8 movies that we came to, formulated, and have found out are the top based on a mathematical formula, and they will be facing off against each other. So there's a play-in match between Fast and the Furious and Transporter, and then you've got Ford versus Ferrari versus that, Smokey and the Bandit versus Bullitt, Days of Thunder versus Gone in 60 Seconds, Talladega Nights versus Baby Driver. That's where we got. These are the movies. That's where we're set. So what we do notice out of this group is that these movies do tend to lean on the side of the more current movies. There's a couple older ones like Bullitt, Smokey and the Bandit, etc. If you feel as though we left out any car movies, please start. Jeff Markinet already says that's bullshit. That is absolute bullshit. So he disagrees. He thinks some are in there, and he wants some more. Okay. What about Rush? Okay. I actually I wanted to try to manipulate the numbers, Mariana, because I believe as though Rush should have been in there as well. But unfortunately, some of these guys had some of the other ones too high, and I had to choose which one I was going to make my number 1 in order to make sure that they reached the play-in round, and it was going to be between Rush and Fast and the Furious. I had to go with Fast and the Furious, although I disagree that I agree that Rush should be in there. Okay.
How many lists was Rush on this week?
Just you, yours and I's.
Only 2 of us?
No, I voted too.
Oh, you might. It was really low on the bottom, I think.
I think you manipulated the numbers.
So,
you can't look at the list and then make your list.
Isn't here, but movie that was on 2 lists is being talked about as the greatest of all time. Continue your sermon. I'm not joining your religion.
Exactly.
Sermon.
Hey, it's all about math. It's all about math. I'm sorry. All right.
Okay, next time he sends the list to me.
Yeah.
All right, here we go. No, it really was accurate, but I did fudge it. I fudged it by making Fast and the Furious number 1. I probably would have had it as number 2, but I made it number 1 anyways. So that's the only way that we got at least the play-in. All right, so let's pull this up real quick. We're going to start with what could be a really interesting conversation. I even already know which way it's leaning, which is embarrassing. But we're starting out with Fast and the Furious versus Transporter for their chance to get hammered by Ford versus Ferrari. So if you guys want to vote for our play-in, it's time to vote Fast and the Furious whole franchise against the Transporter series as well. Okay. Vote now. All right,
I like
gentlemen.
Jeff's Dukes of Hazzard guess, and I'll tell you what: if we were doing TV shows, I'm hard pressed to think of one that's better.
Yeah,
if it was a TV
agreed.
show. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And the problem with the movie remakes, they're all spoofs. So I have a hard time voting in a spoof movie from what was a decent TV show, i.e. Starsky and Hutch.
Yeah.
So
I'm gonna chime in on some TV shows because mine were Magnum PI, Miami Vice, because those were amazing vehicles, and I was a straight up nerd for some Knight Rider.
I'm not surprised. Not surprised.
Well, listen, if you don't like Knight Rider, then there's something wrong with you. That's not my fault.
All right, let's start with the voting. Let's get this party started. Troyer, go ahead and choose between Transporter and Fast and the Furious.
You know, it's tough, and I'll be honest. I probably should disqualify myself because I didn't even realize there was more than 2 Transporters, and apparently you said the series has just gone on and jumped the shark multiple times. I like Jason Statham. I like him a lot. But if I'm going to go for action category, I can get The Rock. I can get everybody else in Fast and the Furious and only Jason in the Transporter. I'm going to go Fast and the Furious for you, Russo. That's for you, buddy.
That's what I'm talking about.
Wow, look at that.
And
that's a lot. I didn't see it going that way.
I do want to be clear on the Fast and the Furious, or in the Transporter movies. They didn't go off the rails. They just became more like Fast and the Furious movies about being just absolutely ridiculous in terms of their action. Right now, we've got a lot of Fast and the Furious voting on the side. Mariana is a little confused about the rules right now. We're not doing Ford versus Ferrari yet. They're going to be playing Ford versus Ferrari, but she's already skipped ahead knowing that that's going to win. Right now, we've got a Back to the Future vote. Love it, Jeff. All right. So
It was a great movie with a car in it.
KP, go ahead and disappoint me right now.
Well, somebody's got to speak up for movies being good movies. So let's take the first two Transporters. I care. I know about the character. The car is a primary character in it, and I don't think they were shite. So I vote for Transporter.
Okay. All right.
Heckman, you're still going to have to prove to me that you've got 4 different generations of GTR. So when you can do that, then we'll give you the $5. But until then.
Is he still fighting you on it?
No, he posted in there a couple times. I love him to pieces, but it's not 4. We're talking about
I would look into it if watching the movies wouldn't make me go blind.
I might. We'll see how much time we have left. We're already going pretty slow, but maybe I'll see if David can call in and have a debate with you. I'll see if we can do that. All right, so
that's fine.
Chad, go ahead, because I'm going to do a final swan song to Fast and the Furious when this is ending, and I'm going to explain why I think you guys underrate it. So let's go ahead and let you vote first.
That's totally fine. I vote for Fast and the Furious because as much as I love Transporter, you have to give a little bit of love to the Fast and the Furious. I mean, it sparked a phenomenon with, the tuner cars and just all kinds of cars in general, because it allowed car fans to really go to the movie, get that popcorn flick. Is it the best cinema ever created? No, it's not. But it is a lot of fun to watch. And I got to say, I'm a fan as well. So I'm voting for Fast and the Furious.
Okay. So thank you for that, which means it will be facing off against Ford versus Ferrari. Here's the issue that I think that since you guys have not seen anything past the first 3, which I was not a Fast and the Furious, what?
I saw 5. I saw the vault get dragged around the city. That's what I.
Yeah.
That was the only one out of the. Okay.
I saw the first 3 and then 5, and then I gave up.
If you look through the Rotten Tomatoes and Judgment and all of that of all the movies starting at 5, they are all 60% or better, and they reach as high as 80 to 81%. The action is absolutely ridiculous. However, all 4 of us, for the most part, have penises. Not every box every day of this group, but regardless. We are men. We like action movies and we like ridiculous movies. But here's what actually makes them great movies. It's not the action. And I actually just said great movies. So in the very beginning, they started out cheesy, but they changed the culture. We have all worked in the auto show world, whereas of all the people asking about things like, as you mentioned, Troy, or the Supra or the GTR, these people became car fans because of this last 20 years of movies. It led to tuners, it led to muscle car conversations, and it led to a whole different style. Now, if you actually look at what the movies actually did, they created this pseudo family that each one is actually enjoyable to watch, and they're able to do plot twists. If you look at one of the worst ones, if not the worst one in the series, which is Tokyo Drift. Shut up, KP. If you look at Tokyo Drift, as bad of a movie as it was, it actually played a role in the overall timeline. Movie number 3 was actually in the timeline movie number 6, I believe, and it actually all played into one really intricate storyline that makes it more than just an action film.
Tell us more, since it's getting ready to lose.
So regardless, I'm just going to say that at the end of the day, they're the way that they actually do foreshadowing in these movies and the old style of movies, comments that are made when you watch back and realize they actually played a role, and then they even brought in big name actors like your Kurt Russells and all these to play parts. You bring in Jason Statham, you bring in action, you've got The Rock, and they all fit together.
They're called Band-Aids.
One movie I would fight for out of any of the shows we've done, any series, it is the Fast and the Furious movies if you're talking about cars. That's it.
All right.
So that's my piece. And it was way too long.
What's weird is it also fits in the submarine category. So I was going to put it in a nautical movie theme when they bust the submarine out of the Arctic. So I thought it was more an Arctic submarine movie than a car movie.
And you know what? Hey, those cars we just talked about would all be great cars without the shitty movies. So let's vote.
Okay. So here's the great part. Fast and the Furious against Ford versus Ferrari. Now it's time to vote. Ford versus Ferrari. and then versus Fast and the Furious. Go ahead. Just make it quick, Troyer.
Fast and the Furious versus a movie.
Yeah, I mean, look, we'll talk more about FVF, I'm sure. And I grant you, there is a recency bias on this entire list, and that's probably why Ford versus Ferrari is as high as number 1 at the moment. However, this was one of my favorite movies last year. Damon as Carroll Shelby. I mean, 2 giant movie stars who just killed it. Great story. You've got Tracy Letts, a Chicago actor, playing the Deuce, H. Ford 2. In one of the best cameos, well, not cameos, but nice small roles that I've seen ever. So I'm going to go FVF versus FNTF.
Makes sense. And Ford vs. Ferrari is a great movie, so it's hard to say anything about that. And that probably would have been number 1 on my list if I didn't need to fudge the numbers. All right, Ken, go for it.
I'm, again, I tend to like to include older classic films because they belong there, and some of them will still be popular years from now when some of the trendy current ones might not look as good. However, my bias is always towards caring, story, being able to arc my character somewhere. Ford versus Ferrari destroys the entire Fast and Furious. I never, ever cared about the storyline or the characters in that entire series. Ford versus Ferrari, incredible, epic film. 1,000 to 1 vote.
All right, so we got 2-1. We already know where this is going. Chad, go ahead.
You know where this is going, baby. Ford versus Ferrari is one of the best car movies. I mean, listen, out of the movies I've seen in the last couple of years, it's one of the best, period. And the acting in it is stellar. I mean, just can't say enough good things about it. If you haven't seen the flick, please see it ASAP.
Yeah. So Ford vs. Ferrari, it was probably one of the last movies I saw in the theater before everything got shut down. The fact that if you saw it in a big enough theater, you could feel the vibrations in the seats. You could feel, I mean, it did everything right in terms of a car movie, action movie. And to go back onto what Ken Paul said, or what Troyer said about how we're a little bit, we have a bias to current movies. It is what it is, because fact is cars involve technology, and even the scene that's considered the greatest chase scene in the 60s and the 70s and 80s, which we'll talk about in Bullitt, it doesn't play today. It just doesn't. So
this one's for Ken Paul. Ken Paul, do you know why they call it the Ford GT40?
I do not know the whole definition. No, I do not.
Because it stands 40 inches tall.
Oh, I knew it. Couldn't pull it up.
That's how low it is. That's how low it is to the ground. When you think about that, it's like 3.5 feet, or thereabouts.
As good as that movie is, what makes it more magical is that the whole thing is unbelievable, and it shouldn't happen, and it's a freaking true story that elevates it to greatdom right there.
That car is just nasty. It's nasty.
Do you know what else sits 40 inches from the ground?
Nope, I don't want to know.
Ken when he's on his back.
There it is.
Yeah, there it is. Yep.
Wow.
Right. Troyer's still thinking about it.
I need an abacus.
Okay.
Good
All right.
song.
So
That's a good Phil Collins song.
I'm officially, for the first time, going to abstain my vote, but it doesn't matter. I'm going to go ahead and go Ford versus Ferrari is definitely moving on, which moves us to question number 2. Smokey and the Bandit.
Smokey and the Bandit.
Versus Bullitt, which I watched last night, much to my own chagrin. Vote. And we're going to go ahead and give you a chance on this one to tell us what you think.
Okay, so this category is tough because it's 2 of my favorites up against each other. I happen to believe that classic filmmaking still has value. The whole point is that characters get developed. Action doesn't have to exist every second for it to be action. Matter of fact, just read an interesting article yesterday about without quiet, there would be no enjoyment of noise. Without pain, your pleasure would be less pleasurable. The concept of building character, building a story, and then having something happen is the highs and lows of movie making. When everything's a high, it numbs you out. To me, Bullitt, incredible movie star, incredible city. And what I love about the older car films, the cars are really doing what cars can do. And to me, that drives adrenaline more than any CGI activity can do. You couldn't wait to see how far they could modify and push these cars, like in the Italian Job, like in this. So Bullitt is an absolute spectacular piece. However, you put it up against one of my favorite fun factor movies of all time. So if I'm going to go with choose to watch it, I'm going to break my own rule, and I hate that this goes away. I got to go Smokey and the Bandit just because of my upbringing and timing, but I will fight for Bullitt to the death to be one of the top 3 car movies of all time, and I'm not having any debate about this, Matt.
Oh, you'll debate it, all right.
All right, so we've got one for Smokey and the Bandit. Troyer, what do you got?
Well, listen, if you wanted to say what was one of the most influential car chase scenes ever, I would definitely grant you Bullitt. I mean, this was probably one of the first ones. When was 1968 was this movie? So it was before the French Connection. It was awesome. Through the streets of San Francisco, 2 great cars. Ford gave him 2 Mustangs that they beat the hell out of. And the continuity and the editing was really funny because if you look at the car, it's damaged when it just starts the car chase scene. You're like, how did that happen? I didn't see that.
Money.
Anyway, the problem is it's a slow movie. It's a slow burn, which I didn't have a problem with. I just didn't see a car until 55 minutes into the movie. I just can't call it a car movie. I can call it a car chase scene, but it's not a car movie. Watch the movie. I had fun with it. I'm going Smokey and the Bandit because Anthony's mustache wouldn't exist without Burt Reynolds.
That's a fact right there. I only have one cowboy hat right now. I packed up the rest. So
you need chewing gum.
And more chest hair.
Oh, no, I don't need more.
I'm not sure we need more.
No, you're good, Bert. You're good.
He shaves from the Adam's apple up.
All right. Exactly. Chad's having some technical difficulties, but I didn't want him to miss out on the old Cabbage Patch Kid right there.
Man, that is sucky. Thanks for sharing.
So what you might have missed is right now you've got 2-0 for Smokey and the Bandit. Even KP went away from Bullitt. Went to Smokey and the Bandit. It's just one of his favorite movies. Bullitt, I had big aspirations for. Yes, Chad.
I saw Ken Paul's list. He had Bullitt ranked as his number 1.
I did.
So explain yourself.
You put it up here. I love how you just froze. You go in the moment, and I got to pick cheap, silly, fun, but still a great story. I got to edge out Smokey, but those 2 are high for me. But I had to remember how much that made to me as a difference in the movie theater. Smokey and the Bandit changed my life. I was alive for it. I was in the theater for it.
Yeah. I love that. This is actually, if there's going to be a photo that we put of Chad when he's just talking and it's just
snap it.
That's it. That's it right there.
Screenshot that.
I got a screenshot. It's like he's got an itty bitty penis in his mouth and he's just making sure it's working itself out.
I'll never unhear it. Never unhear it.
That's so great. I'm so happy that happened.
Well, he can still hear us.
He's got VO, but no movement. I love that.
Oh, that's great. Okay.
All right. So Cassie in the house.
I'm going Smokey and the Bandit as well. Oh, Mike's in. Yeah, let's go ahead and give a shout out to Mike real quick. I remember there it is. Yeah. I'm going to give Smokey and the Bandit. Bullitt was disappointment to me. I think the fact that it won Best Editing shows how mediocre movies still were in terms of any kind of technology in the 19th.
Careful. Be so careful where you're going with your mouth right now.
But the only thing I will say that's a shout out to Steve McQueen is I got into watches because of Steve McQueen. So I think Kenny's got a nice. What do you got on right now, Ken?
I got a vintage Omega on right now. 59 Omega.
And I've got myself the Steve McQueen special, of course. Tag Monaco that was obviously made famous. Not as much as the Rolex Explorer 2, but still, that's how I got into watches was that. So got to give a shout out to that. Unfortunately, I think we could just move on and know that one is going to be winning. We might have lost good old Chadwick for a bit. He's going to have to get on his rotary phone and see if that turns back on. What's that?
Wind it up.
Wind it up. I told him to get on a hotspot. We'll see if that works. So now, before we go to that next round, Ford versus Ferrari for Smokey and the Bandit. Don't vote on that yet. We're going Days of Thunder and Gone in 60 Seconds.
Wow.
Days of Thunder and Gone in 60 Seconds was very high up on a lot of the lists in this group, which I find, again, very surprising. Based on the fact that they are looking for quality of movies. Gone in 60 Seconds, although entertaining to me, is not the movie that you would make it out to be. So
well, this is cheddar cheese versus Swiss cheese. These are both completely flawed movies full of cheesedom, but you fall for both of them. You care. As bad as they both are, you care, and they take you on the trip. And Robert Duvall giving a monologue to a fucking car in a bad movie brings it up 20 notches because a good actor can do that.
Fair enough. We've got 2 votes already for Gone in 60 Seconds. So that's huge.
Ooh.
That's huge. All right, so you're going with which one?
I'm going with Days. If I got to edge the 2 out, even though they're so much fun, Days of Thunder, there's a better story. I mean, I get it. It's exciting, stealing cars, but Days of Thunder is a travel. There's friend, there's romance, there's the arch, there's somebody growing up, getting better at what he does. There's a story. I like stories. Days of Thunder has it. The cheese is there, but there's the nice touches of good. Days of Thunder edges it out.
All right, we got 1 for Days of Thunder. What do you got there, Troyer?
Well, I'll tell you, I thought Gone in 60 Seconds was a prequel to the Fast and the Furious franchise, to be fair, just as you kind of mentioned. So I'm going to go Duvall, Tom Cruise, Days of Thunder. It's not my favorite movie, but I like it better than that. The Nick Cage Cheese Festival is fun on occasion, but for quality movie, I got to go Duvall as well.
So we had a little comeback for Days of Thunder. It ended up being split on the side. Gone in 60, Gone in 60, Gone in 60, and then 3 Days of Thunder. So Mama Russo brought up a fun fact. When I was a young boy, I made the mistake of I was 10 years old, and I lied when she was a single-parent mom. I lied about, oh, look, we got good old Chatty. He's on the old phone. He's on the LTE. We'll see if this works.
Hey, how you doing?
Hey.
Can you hear me?
Rotary.
Sideways.
Yeah, turn it sideways. There you go. Would you look at that? Would you look at it? So, fun fact, I lied about the fact I hadn't watched it yet, and I told her that I wanted to watch it with her because I was a good boy and wanted her to share the excitement of the end of the movie, and I lied about it, and she was busy writing term papers and in college. And at the end of the movie, I slipped, and I said, Mom, watch this. She gets a smudge on her cheek. And she turned and looked at me, chased me down the stairs. It was not a good night for me. I will say that in the least. But in the end, Days of Thunder, without a doubt, is my pick.
Can't hear anyone. Can you guys hear me?
We can hear you kind of, Chad.
Give me a thumbs up if you can hear me.
We can hear you.
You are quiet like you've never been before.
So,
What do you vote for?
What do you vote for?
how are we going to remedy that? Good stuff. I'm having some
Here, I'll just
today.
put it.
Unlock the volume.
Okay, Chad, read my lips. What
I've got audio at
you-
the bottom of the screen, and it is
you-
unmuted.
vote for?
Put this in your phone.
Oh, this is funny. All right, we already know who won this one. We're just going to let him keep trying to figure stuff out. We'll see if he can hear us at one point.
Text me for communications if anybody.
We
Yes,
can hear Chad.
I love that you guys can hear me. I love you all. I'm gonna
I think his wife is using all of his
throw
bandwidth.
my computer across the room. See if that helps.
Oh, this is funny. All right, I'm going to go ahead and pull this
eat
up
an
real quick.
entire wheel of cheese.
We're going very light on gravy today.
Very. No, I'm gravy. Biscuits. It's all gravy.
All right, too many carbs then.
Yep. Talladega Nights.
Hey, man.
I'm going to see if this will match up. I got Chad on audio, so we'll do his audio through my phone. Let's see if
Okay.
it works.
I don't know why that didn't work. I tried to log in on the old phone there, but clearly it was pooping the bed.
Oops.
Ooh, it sounds like a radio program. I like this.
This is fantastic.
Radio program.
All right. I'm going to go ahead and put this in the chat box. Everybody start to vote now. Talladega Nights. Talladega Nights versus Baby Driver.
Fun.
It's high on Chad's list, so I kind of want to start with him.
All right, Chad, you're a first-time caller, long-time listener. Go ahead. You're on the air.
I would like to cast a vote for Talladega Nights, please.
Talladega Nights. Any reason why?
Well, it's just a goddamn funny movie. I mean, it's funny. When it comes on, you just have to simply stay for the entire time because you know that something else funny is going to happen in less than 60 seconds, more than likely. Everything that happens in that movie is funny. So it's about rednecks, and I'm from the South, so I love it. It's about NASCAR. I grew up on NASCAR. My dad was a big fan, which, by the way, he hates Days of Thunder because of all the not real things that happen on the racetrack. And
Like?
it's it's got to be the Talladega Nights for me.
All right,
What's
Nights.
his favorite quote, Chad? What made him jump out of his seat?
Oh yeah, what's your dad's favorite quote?
It's when they were literally talking on the radio about putting somebody into the wall. Like when Carrie Elwes's character was talking about putting Cole Trickle into the wall, they're like, no, they'll black flag you. You can't talk about putting somebody in the wall going 200 miles per hour. You're basically trying to kill them. They would black flag you for even
Called
talking.
manslaughter. Yeah, nice work.
All right, so Talladega Nights. We got one vote, and I like what Chad said. This is good, Mike.
It's hilarious. He came in one time when I was watching Days of Thunder, and he's like, "This movie's stupid," and just walked out.
But he did have an interesting comment about Talladega Nights. He said if there isn't something funny for 60 seconds, it'll be right there. So technically, if there's a lack of humor in Talladega Nights, it's gone in 60 seconds.
God, I really, you know what? I want to not like it just because it's you, but that was actually somewhat clever.
All right, Penny, what do you got?
Both good. Both good. But normally I would go with drama. But I'll tell you what, Talladega Nights, as a comedy, as a spoof, is a quality film. It's got good sequences. It actually has decent racing. You care about the characters. It's not a spoof for the sake of being cheesy and making money. They made a real movie, and comedies can be great movies. I'm going with Talladega because if you pray to sweet baby Jesus, you got to be able to win a competition.
That's right. 6 pounds.
Right. Nobody prays to sweet baby driver. You pray to sweet baby Jesus.
You do. You do.
I like Baby Driver. It's a fun movie. The choreography, the music that's in that film, and the way it becomes this rhythmic thing is really cool. But yeah, you can't top the Ballad of Ricky Bobby. So I'll keep it brief. We're going Talladega Nights.
You can't.
And I'll go ahead and agree with that. But I am going to say something with my good friend David Heckman, who is the biggest car guy that I know, as much as Chad is. And he likes Talladega Nights, but it's not better than Fast and the Furious.
They've already lost. Good night.
Wow.
All right.
Shit movies, all 27 of them. They're all shit.
Still going. Still going to fight for that one. Still going to fight. Since Bullitt's gone, I did forget to mention I did get a picture with Steve McQueen's granddaughter at the Detroit Auto Show a couple of years ago. I was pretty excited about that. Well, fun fact. Okay. Detroit. Before we go to our next round, Chad, I know that you're calling remotely. Oh, let's see. Do we have him? Do we have him back? Ladies and gentlemen.
Houston.
Oh, I thought we were going to go in stereo for a minute.
It was too echoey.
Two Chads.
Okay. Chad, you're perfect timing because it's trivia time.
Love it.
There we go.
Love it.
This is not going to be a race against me. This is going to be a race against everybody else that's playing. So, Chad, you're going to be doing your first quote now. If you guys hear it and you want to answer it, the first person gets a $5 Venmo courtesy of #BeatTheChange. Dave Heckman's already won one. But now it's go time. Chad, put it in the box. If you're watching, by the way, on a different page, I saw Paul Velasquez watching on the identity marketing page, which I learned now does not feed into here. Try to tune to the Be the Change page, please. It'll make it easier. I will also keep an eye on that page as well. All right, Chad, go for it.
This is hard.
All right. This is going to be a name the movie, my friends. Name the movie. Work with me on this one. Here we go. Control is an illusion, you infantile egomaniac. Nobody knows what's going to happen next. Not on a freeway, not in an airplane, not inside our own bodies, and certainly not on a racetrack with 40 other infantile egomaniacs.
Woo!
That was good. That was really, really good. I just wanted you to have blonde, like, flowing locks.
With the same plastic surgery, you'd be hot.
Are you? I thought you were trying to raise the roof, Ken Paul.
I'm ready to ring the bell. It's above me now.
Hey, it's above me.
Ken, how many times have you told another man if he had the right plastic surgery, he'd be hot?
What are you paying me to answer?
We got AP. We got Fast. No, it's not Fast and Furious. It is Days of Thunder. Heckman is going to be hard to beat on this one. Heckman's got it. Yep. What was it? What was AP? Jeff, I don't know what you were going on that one, but it is Days of Thunder. I'm going to go ahead and show the picture that is associated with that. There it is. Do you want to do it one more time for fun, Chad?
I mean, you know what? I'm game, baby. If it's about being a straight up idiot on camera, I think that's my middle name. So
yep. Go for it.
Long middle name.
Good one, Ken. Control is an illusion, you infantile egomaniac. Nobody knows what's going to happen next. Not on a freeway, not on an airplane, not inside our own bodies, and certainly not on a racetrack with 40 other infantile egomaniacs.
God, she was so hot in that movie.
Is his wife taller than him? I never knew.
Oh, of course.
Every woman walking next to him is taller than him. Yeah, that I still have flashbacks to my mom chasing me down the stairs whenever I see her in that white outfit and then the smudge that goes on her face when they kiss. It's literally just terrifying for me to think about how bad I realize that I got to learn how to lie better. So anyways, oh, yep. All right, so we got that one. $5 to Dave Heckman. Who else was following? That scene is in the car when he's dropping her off at the hotel. Very accurate. Did she have that mark on that face in the scene? No, mother. The mark came after that. I know exactly when. He thought it was Jeff was going Austin Powers. Yes, Jeff, car movies from here on out. We do have more trivia. I'm going to go ahead and do one since we don't have Chad. I'm going to do the one that I was planning on doing. First person to answer this one, and you just need to know. You just need to know the series of movies. You don't actually need to know which one it is because I'm actually not 100% positive right now. All right, ready? This is Brazil. Okay. I think everybody can probably guess what that is based on what I've been talking about. The bulk of the.
Thanks. Nice ship. Ah.
All right. Mike was confused at the accent. Was it Australian or Leprechaun? What movie did I just do an impression of? There it is. Jeff, you are winning a $5 Venmo, my friend. Oh, you beat Heckman. You beat Heckman. I think it was Fast Five. I think you're right, Nick. But all I needed was a series. I'm giving that one to Jeff. Jeff, I am going to need your Venmo. I think I might be able to find it. But just in case, go ahead and put your Venmo in the box. You are winning a $5 Venmo from #BeTheChange. Thank you very much.
And there's another award. That's one of the most intricate sentences ever written for any of the series movies dialogue.
It's pretty good.
Really long sentence for that film series.
I hate you right now. All right, what do we got next on these? We've got Ford versus Ferrari and Smokey and the Bandit.
Beer!
All right, I'm going to put it in the box. Ford versus Ferrari versus Smokey and the Bandit. Yeah, where is Phil today? That's a great question. Smokey and the Bandit. Vote now. Since Chad currently looks like he has the ability to talk, we'll go ahead and start with him. We'll try to start with him. All right, I'm going to go and remove this down. Chad, how you doing?
You know what? I'm just having a great day, and I'm so glad that I can share it with all of you guys. I love you guys. Tell me the movies again because I can't see them on the screen.
Ford versus Ferrari versus Smokey and the Bandit.
Go ahead and just tell them what I'm thinking.
Chad right now is thinking that he wishes his computer worked better, and it has nothing to do with movies right now. He's just trying to keep his temper level below a 93.
Throwing it doesn't help.
I was actually thinking it was Ford versus Ferrari, but all of the rest of that is also true.
All right, so Ford versus Ferrari?
Yep.
All right, KP, what do you got?
Yeah, this is tough. I got to go with my heart versus what's a better film. I'm going to go with the better film versus the fun factor. I don't want to, but I'm going to do it. Bert, I know you're watching. I'm sorry. I got to go Ford versus Ferrari. Even though you changed my life many times on the screen, I got to go with Ford Ferrari. And you're an Oscar winner. I apologize. I got to go Ford.
All right, that's 2. We've got Ford versus Ferrari in the bot. We've got a lot of Ford versus Ferrari. Keep voting on the outside. Another Ford versus Ferrari. And Jeff, you haven't always watched the show, so I got to tell you, you're not allowed to tell me to give the money to somebody else. It goes to you, and you get to do whatever you want with it. If you don't want it yourself, then you pay it forward because that's kind of the whole concept of Be the Change. So you get to do with it what you will. All right, Troyer, what do you got?
Yeah, Dom DeLuise, Burt Reynolds. I mean, if you haven't seen any of these movies, drink a few beers, do a couple shots, watch the movie, laugh, and then vote for Ford versus Ferrari.
Yeah, but they're good, right?
They're fun.
Say goodbye to the mustache, ladies and gentlemen. Smokey and the Bandit is eliminated. Smokey and the Bandit is eliminated. Ford
Love
versus
you, Jerry
Ferrari.
Reed and Sally Field. Sorry.
So sad.
Hashtag Dirt Reynolds.
All right. I'm going to go ahead and put this back up. What do we got here?
Sally Field took a wedding dress off in the bucket seat of a Trans Am, by the way. That's amazing. Yes. That is amazing.
Days of Thunder versus Talladega Nights. Talladega.
Wow.
Oh God. Oh,
two NASCAR movies.
You got two. You got the same category. I love that.
It's actually the same movie. Just one's really fake. One's kind of fake. All right. Let's see. I got to do something real quick. All right. I'm going to go ahead.
I don't know what to do with my hand.
Troy, you're going first.
I don't know what to do with my hands.
Yeah.
This movie was so fun because NASCAR was involved in it. So they recognized it was a spoof. It's like the Mormon Church taking an ad out in the back of the Book of Mormon in New York. They're like, look, we're going to have fun. We're not going to get all upset and say, oh, quit making fun of us. It's a great movie. Talladega Nights. All the way. Ricky Bobby, baby.
Kenny, what do you got?
I got to go with the trickle. I got to go with the trickle on this by a hair. By a hair, I got to go with Days of Thunder. I bought into it. My adrenaline was right there the whole time. I'm going with the cheesy drama. Days of Thunder.
All right. You got Days of Thunder. So we got a 1-1 score right now between Talladega Nights and Days of Thunder. Chad, what do you have?
You know where I'm going, baby. Straight up Talladega Nights. All day long, baby.
This is a hard one for me because, again, both watchability. If they were to both come on at the same time, I would literally do picture-in-picture.
You can't change it.
Yeah, but which one would be the larger picture?
Probably Days of Thunder, I think. I don't know. So I might actually see if I can get swayed by the audience. Maybe. Let's see. We got Days of Thunder. We got Talladega.
I think you answered.
And then the audience votes. You don't base your opinion on their opinion. You Jack Johnson jabroni.
Even quiet, you carry such a large stick. I'm gonna go Days of Thunder.
Attaboy.
That would have been my choice between the two. I actually did not like Talladega Nights the first time I watched it, and then I really, really started to like it.
Yeah, because you're a clown.
Gary Cole.
I think God made me quiet on purpose today. Let's see.
We're in overtime then. The audience decides.
Yep, audience decides. We're doing the count. We got Dave Heckman.
Counts are coming in.
With Days of Thunder, we got 1, 2.
Andrew, what's up?
When in the Sam Hill are we going to let Matt pour a beer?
Yeah, we're doing it next.
All right. That's when I make my other drink.
We're doing it live.
Oh, you're thirsty.
Let's do it live.
I'm going to come at you like a spider monkey. If you don't vote for Ricky Bobby.
Rubbing is racing.
Quotes there.
Mike had a very valid point. I think we're actually tied at 3. Let me do a double check real quick. All right, while I'm double checking, Troyer, go ahead and tell us what the beer of the day is.
Hey, welcome to the beer of the day. Ladies and gentlemen, today's beer of the day, in honor of all the talking we do and the snoozing that you're probably doing, it's called Mouth Pillow. Where's the name of the beer? There it is, Mouth Pillow. It's a hazy IPA from a brewery just down the street called Sasquatch Brewing Company here in Hillsdale, Portland, Oregon. This is a hazy IPA, so that means for you beer lovers, it's a New England style IPA. 42 IBU, so not too hoppy. 6.5% ABV, though. And I would like to say I ordered this for delivery. So support your local craft breweries by ordering some beer from them. A lot of them can't be open to the public, but they can be open for takeout orders and even delivery.
I also like to say that they have 2 other beers called Ear Candy and Butt Cushion. So I recommend both of those.
Woo. You'll like their tag phrase, Anthony. They say, see the mouth and the pillow?
I see it.
They say your mouth will work so hard on this, it'll need a pillow.
I'm a fan. I'm a fan of fun little humor like that. Let's see. All right. So I am almost certain it is Talladega Nights. It is close though, but it's Talladega Nights by about 2. I mean, Talladega Nights is moving forward. Andrew Carr is so excited that he made it in time to see the beer of the day. It is the highlight of his whole year. Which in 2020, it doesn't take much to be the highlight of your year.
Hell of a point.
All right. So before we move on to our championship match We've got Ford versus Ferrari, Talladega Nights, going at it. Don't vote just yet because I think we're going to do some trivia. Chad, I added one while we were having some technical difficulties. I did This Is Brazil because it was obviously the most in-depth line of all the Fast and the Furious movies.
It was what did you say?
This is Brazil. Okay. Anyways.
Interesting choice. Go ahead.
So now
there were no other full sentences in the series, Chad.
I can't hear him. It's like God has muted him today.
You're welcome.
Maybe we should just take a gigantic wiener and put it in his mouth. Just like this.
Hey, that's my baby. That's my baby.
Are we talking about the car or the wiener?
No, the car.
What kind of car you got there, KP?
65 Buick Skylark convertible, navy blue under white top. That's my summer whip, as the kids would say.
It's so great that he has that in his grinder profile, too. Okay. All right, so here we go.
Man.
Okay, before we do our next trivia, let's see how many trivia we got. 2 trivias left. Maybe if
I
you
got
can think
one
of
that I
another
can
one.
for memory, one that I cannot. So I'm going to need some assistance on the screen since I'm on my phone at this current time.
Okay, well, I'm going to go ahead and do the one that involved another series of movies. I'm going to flash it real quick, Chad. You'll know what it is. You're going to do this one, and then we've got a special thing that I'm going to do and bring on. So here it is.
Thing.
There it is. Got it, Chad?
Got it.
All right, first person to put it in the box below gets $5 courtesy of #BeTheChange. Go for it, Chad.
Rule 3. Never open the package.
That sounded like Nicole Kidman.
Yeah. One more time, nice and loud. Yell it there, Chad.
Rule 3. Never open the package.
Yeah, it was very Nicole Kidman-ish.
Well, they're both from somewhere else.
I just wanted him to yell really loud so his wife could hear it. Never open the package. Oh, did we get it? Nick Barnes. Nick won. He's edged out Andrew Carr.
Man, that was close. Wow.
So close.
Carr, you were close.
Nick
Barnes.
Barnes.
Like Carr, how could he not win? This is a Carr episode.
Nick Barnes. All right, you, my friend, are the winner of our next Venmo. Go ahead and shoot me your Venmo information. We've got 2 for Dave Heckman, 1 for Jeff that we're going to have to figure out because he doesn't have Venmo. I'll find another way to do it. And then Nick, you are the 4th one. We're going to have one more trivia question. But before then, we had a little debate earlier on the show whether or not there was 3 cars or 4 GTR or 4 ideations of the Skyline. So with that, David Heckman is in the house, ladies and gentlemen. Dave, can you hear us? Dave cannot hear us. Oh, that was
Dave's
such
living in his car.
Dave, no volume.
I'm here.
Oh, there it
shit.
is. Okay.
Hold on.
Huh.
Is that
All right,
better?
You're good. All right,
We got him.
the 4 GTRs. The 4, yeah, you got it.
Okay, so there's one in. He's got the one in number 2, which is I believe it's a 34 R34.
Yep.
That's the silver and blue one.
Yep.
And then in the I want to say it's number 4 or 5 when they go into Vince's. He has got that old one. That he pulls up. Yep.
Yeah, that's yep.
And then at the end of that one, he's got the brand new GTR. So that's number 3.
R35.
Yep. And then in number 6, if I remember right, he's got the blue and white one.
Which is a what?
I can't remember, but that's still 4.
That's an R30. That's another R34.
No. There's a blue and white one, and an older one. It's a different one.
Talking about the R35 because at the end of the one movie
Nope.
and then in the next one, as I believe what you're talking about, the question was the number of generations.
Yeah.
Which would mean Chad's right. 3
Oh,
generations.
not how many
individual
cars, how many
which is why
generations.
I specified and said it more than once.
Yeah.
What? No, do you remember what's? Shit, you might be right on that one. My bad.
You know what though?
Right.
For knowing that there's
Well, no, what I got confused on is the black one when they're down south in Rio or whatever.
The Huxtable.
Yep. And then it had the 34,
Mhm.
and then there's the 35, But then there's a blue and white one that he drives when they're in Europe.
A blue and white one. I think
That's another R30. It's another R34. All
Yeah,
right.
the 34
It's not a 34. It's not a 34. It's one that gets that he's driving when the tank happens.
All right. I'm
Well,
gonna
Yeah.
he has he's got the Cadillac Cimarron in
scene
that
with
film.
the tank,
All right.
That one also, that was the same movie as the Hatsuka, the 71.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, until somebody shows me, that there's an actual fourth generation.
I can't believe I'm saying this, but I feel like Chad might be right. With that said, Dave, all I need you to do one time is shake your head if you think Fast and the Furious should have been higher on the list.
Definitely should have been.
Ladies and gentlemen, Dave Hackman, thank you very
Okay,
much.
bye-bye, Dave.
Oh, God. All right, Mom
put
said
him on
like
the show?
movie
You put him on
Fargo.
the
I don't
show
know why.
so I
Probably
can
because
tell
the
him that
audio
he's
stuck
wrong?
between these two. What's that, Chad?
You put him on the show just so I could tell him that he wasn't right? That sounds mean.
When it comes to cars, I believe David. I think we realized that he might not have been right on that one.
Nice. A lot of faith. Got
I
it.
believe in both of you. Okay, moving on to our final movie. We're gonna go and bring this up. I'm gonna go and get rid of that big green banner. All right. Mom was talking about his voice being from the north because he is from the north. All right, ladies and gentlemen, it is time to
North. He said nope as an argument sentence. He said nope. I love that.
All right, let's go ahead and put this in the comments, ladies and gentlemen. Ford versus Ferrari. Versus Talladega Nights for the win in our car episode.
This could be a surprise.
Vote now. All right, gentlemen, it is time to find out what our top movie is. What do you got? Who wants to go first? Raise your hand.
Bye, Dave. Dave left for
I got
Jeopardy. Bye, Dave. He went to watch Jeopardy.
Yeah, Dave's done. Dave burnt. He's like, I'm out.
Dave, he's in Green Bay. He left for Jeopardy. I love it.
All right, what do you got? Let's go with KP.
Love a good comedy, but I am always swayed by a great drama, especially if it's biographically true. As much as I love Talladega, I got to go with Ford versus Ferrari. It's just an incredible film. It's going to show up later as a classic biodrama. It edges it out by a couple nickels. I got to go with FVF.
All right, right now on the side, we've got two Talladega Nights, one Ford versus Ferrari. My mom heard that Ford versus Ferrari was boring. She might have been thinking about something else because
she can't have seen it if she thinks it's boring.
No.
It is adrenaline filled.
So, all right, so we got Talladega Nights with two, Ford versus Ferrari with one, and on our team, on our crew, we've got one for Ford versus Ferrari. Now it's tied on the side. 2-2 on the side. Chad, do you want to go next, or do you want to go? Who wants to go? Raise a hand.
Go ahead, Chad.
Let's do it. This is tough. This is super tough. But to keep it short and sweet, I'm gonna do it, baby. I'm going Talladega Nights. It's too good. It's too good. That's it. I don't know what to say.
Best car movie of all time. You're going that way, huh?
I can't hear him.
Okay.
All right. Let's go with Troyer. What do you got?
I have to say, I was kind of thrilled that Talladega Nights edged out Days of Thunder because it just would have been a slam dunk otherwise. Ford versus Ferrari would have killed Days of Thunder. But it's really, as Ken said, difficult. Chad even voted for it. Golly. What are you going to do, Anthony?
I don't know yet.
Do you like the blonde or the brunette?
I'm leaning right now Ford versus Ferrari.
Golly.
Apparently, my mom has more friends than just I.
This is what I'm afraid of. The recency bias is what's killing me because I haven't seen The Ballad of Ricky Bobby recently. I remember it as a great movie. I saw it twice. I enjoyed it. I've just seen Ford versus Ferrari. So I'm like, is that influencing me? One's a drama, one's not. Like, it's really hard.
The supporting cast is one of the things that played into my decision. I know I already went, but keep in mind, Gary Cole, Jane Lynch.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But just John C. freaking Riley. I guess technically he'd be more of a main player. But those two, when they're together, they did Step Brothers as well. We won't.
No,
talk
you're
about
right.
it.
You're right, but the supporting cast in Ford v Ferrari was awesome too. I mean, you had two amazing leads. You had, like I already mentioned, Tracy Letts. His wife was great. I mean, it's a
Tony
phenomenal.
winners, you got Oscar winners, you got it all.
I'm with, you can't make a wrong choice in this one. But you know what? You got.
All right, I've never done this. I'm going to do it.
Flipping a coin. Did I miss something during Talladega Nights when any of those actors got an Academy Award nod for their role in that movie?
Nope.
Whoa. Usually you don't get those in comedies. However,
you
there's a
used
case
to
be made that in some movies, maybe not this film, that award should have been given.
All right. I got to remember the Alamo coin. That'll be heads. Chad, call it in the air.
Heads.
Well, dropped it. I didn't get to see what it was.
You didn't even say which one is which. Which one is which?
The Alamo is heads. I just said that.
I know, but which movie is that?
Oh, good point. Okay.
The Alamo's not up for offer. The Alamo
will be Ford versus Ferrari, and Talladega Nights will be the treat. Okay. Chad, call it.
Tails.
It doesn't matter what he calls. It depends what you have. You never done heads versus tails?
What did I say the Alamo would be? That's heads.
That's Ford versus Ferrari.
Ford versus Ferrari. That's my vote.
Oh, thank God. All right.
I'm really bad at that.
If anybody's still on, thank you. We are not that entertaining.
Still can't hear.
Okay. All right. Talladega Nights. Did not know that. Yep. All right, ladies and gentlemen, Ford versus Ferrari is my vote, which means it's 3-1, even though the side was just about tied 3-3. Nick Barnes cried on both of them, but that's because he has a big
ship. Talladega won for sound editing. That's funny. Didn't know, unless he's lying.
What's going on here?
Pretty sure he's lying. All right, so we've got a 3-1, which means our winner is Ford versus Ferrari, in what could be the longest non-drinking episode we've ever done.
I'm drinking.
Because we all have our opinions on cars. So with that said, we've now need to give away. I think we've got one more trivia question. Chad, do you remember the last one? This one I can't flash. It's too much of a giveaway.
Right. No, it's definitely a giveaway. The thing is it's a back and forth of about 5 lines. So I was hoping to kind of not be on my phone.
Get really close to it. Get really close.
How about we shorten it? We just name the movie where the line was spoken.
First person to put it gets $5 Venmo from Be the Change. Go ahead, Chad.
Here we go. The best movie of all time, Highlander.
That's it. That's the only part of you.
Yeah, that's enough.
It's an entire back and forth that I don't have access to currently. So,
Chip, you know that. Do it again, Chad.
Best movie of all time, Highlander.
Oh, God. All right.
Okay, when we get this right, I have a request.
It's ridiculous.
There it is.
Heckman.
Heckman is paying his rent right now.
Bell.
Sorry. You can't ring it from down there.
I'm trying.
Is he still at work? He was in his car a minute ago.
He's driving. He's being safe. Yes, KP.
Before we go, I would like 10 seconds.
Go ahead. We're not going just yet, but go ahead.
Okay. Since we've skipped my wardrobe for today, I would like to give my classic racing recommendations before we go for people who actually like movies that take a little longer but get you somewhere. Can I give them?
Yes, and go ahead with your wardrobe. I thought we did it. I was doing multiple things in the beginning. Explain.
Right. I'm not angry.
Dickhead, Anthony.
I would like to know what you're wearing too.
I've gone since my top 10 had 2 Steve McQueen films. I've done Steve McQueen Chill today. I went with T-shirt, suede bomber, off-white trowel,
look at my
brown loafers, no socks. So before and after a race or breaking a woman's heart, this is pretty much what he wore a lot. Anyhow, 2 of the greatest classic race films, and I know they might not be the most exciting to everybody, but if you are a race car fan, because both of these films had live footage and the actors did a lot of their own driving, if you can put in some patience, Jimmy Garner in Grand Prix and Steve McQueen in Le Mans are 2 of the purest almost biography-driven race films of all time. They are incredible films, both of them. You have to forgive that they're dated and the cars aren't as hot as they are now, but they were really well made. Le Mans almost a documentary, but Grand Prix, Le Mans, if you love cars, watch them.
All right, and what are you wearing?
I went through it all.
I know, like, oh, you did the boots. I'm sorry. I was busy looking.
No, they've heard it. I'm good.
I got confused because I feel like one of us had a question.
That's going to go on my phone.
Chad's actually posing in the same way right now. That's great. Love it.
Oh, okay. That's great.
So
Herbie didn't get the vote. Herbie.
So here's the deal. One last comment on Fast and the Furious. Launched in 2000.
Oh, God.
Fast and the Furious
From who?
franchise explores a movie expert on a whole blog. Aspect of the automotive world. Not everybody is fascinated by. Some of the movies have been admittedly cheesy. Tuner cars aren't for everyone's cup of tea, but we're including an ongoing series on this list that has undeniably done more to bring car culture to the general public than any other series of films. Thousands of viewers became car nuts after seeing footage of Toyota Supras and Dodge Challengers in one of the films. That's all I have.
From I haven't been out of my mother's basement in 10 years.com. Great source.
MasturbatesDaily.com.
He looked really sassy. I still can't hear him, but he looked very sassy in his retort.
Okay, so for our next episode, we are
We'll get a new computer.
Here's a question I have for you guys.
Or your iPad probably would do a better job.
Yeah,
Get your iPad fired up.
Yeah, try that. Put that work iPad to use. So here's the question. We talked about doing fantasy on Wednesday and then superhero movies on Friday. My question becomes, can we shorten superhero movies to one episode, or does it have to be two? Because I feel like superhero movies might take 16.
That's fine. Let's do it. Let's do it for the rest of the week.
You guys good with that?
I am, and I think we need to look hard at this series thing, because you can't do Batman as a series. Like, you've got to look at
So we will do 4 superhero movies, because technically Avengers could be all. Yeah. So it is individual movies. Yes, Chad.
I also think, to his point, we got to break up Superman movies, like Christopher Reeve Superman. Yeah. Henry Cavill Superman, you know what I'm saying? So
Well, not even just
5 different Batmans, and we got a lot of different characters to deal with.
Yep. So it's actually individual movies, which will take a full 16 minimum to go to that. Okay. So if it's the ones with Reeves, then it's Superman 2, 1, 3. It's not the whole series. It is individual movies.
Got it.
Okay. Woo.
Done.
Can you tell me what
appreciate y'all
inmate call is? I got an inmate call.
Still can't hear Ken.
That's a boyfriend call.
He got an inmate call. It's interesting. Call from the old prison.
Joliet. Blues Brothers. That's a car movie we missed.
Did they call collect?
Yeah, they have to call collect from the prison.
Okay, I'll call him back tomorrow. I have nothing planned for Tuesday.
I'll give him the guy who wrote that article, Masturbation Monthly. I'll give him the number of the guy, and they can chit chat for a little bit.
Put them together because they both live in a basement. I'm good with that.
Yep. So again, thank you guys for joining us on what is the new network that will be doing all these shows and adding some more programming soon enough. It's all part of and this fantastic cast of characters. Thank you guys for joining me. I think we're finally back on track. Chad's waving. He's waving everybody. And that has been Biscuits and Great. What the heck? Oh, it's my face.
Yeah, it's Anthony's mustache.
Yeah. Thank you for joining us for Biscuits and Gravy, talk movies, and other random stuff. Car movie edition. You guys are fantastic. Thank you guys for joining us.
Hasta la bye-bye.
Hasta la bye-bye.
Enjoy Murder, She Wrote, Ken.
Murder, She Wrote.
I don't watch it.
There it is.
I never watched it.
No, it's Murder, She Wrote.
I could really use some tots right now. You have any in your cargo pockets?
Give me some of your tots.
No. You can't have my tots, bro.
Mike's not. He's more interested in who you're wearing, which technically for all of quarantine has just been your right hand or your left hand.
Ooh, go Rosa.
I am tired of
Feel like we
both.
could've-
I'm back to
See
TV.
y'all. See y'all later. Bye.
I'm shedding a tear for Herbie. Herbie got no love today.
Oh yeah, Herbie, Cars.
Herbie can suck it. So can Cars. Bye.
You can suck it. No love for Herbie.
I guess I'll end it.